back, everybody, to another episode of Coffee with KP. I am Kelly Parker, aka KP the Builder. And on today's episode, I have a very special guest. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, I'm Craig Giddens. I'm a real estate investor and a creative director and all-around product obsessive.
Well, welcome to the show, man. So I know a lot of people out there don't really know our history.
Sure.
So let's dive into that.
Man, that's a deep dive.
To start this conversation off.
That's definitely a deep dive. So how far you want to go back? Because we can go all the way back to Jefferson.
We got to go back to
we got
to go back to stealing watermelons.
Yeah. We used to. That's a real thing, though.
Yeah.
So that is a good point, a good place to start. I've been knowing you probably for about 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years I've been knowing you, man. So ripping and running in the streets of Mount Dora, all throughout Lake County, and living in houses that it's so weird that house that you grew up in is not much different than the houses that we're buying now and flipping. So it's
full circle.
It's full circle, man. The origin story is so crazy. How we met growing up. You know, a lot of times, I would prefer even to sleep at your family's house. They treated me like family. So to be at this age and still know one another, right? In of itself, friendships don't last that long, right? These days. But to have someone that I've known as long as you and to be able to make money with that person, it's just is pretty phenomenal, actually.
If you notice, like, the people around me I've been knowing for years, especially the ones I call friends and family.
For sure.
Because I use that term and that verbiage very, very tightly.
You mean it.
I mean it.
You mean it.
Nah, I don't use it loosely.
You mean it, yeah. But don't know.
I call you my friend, and
for sure.
You're really my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of growing up where we're from. Yeah. I mean,
small town.
Small town. A small town story. There's nothing wrong with that, Right. So, and we both have those, and to have that kind of that testimony that goes all the way back to very, very small towns, and then live in big cities and do big things. It's really incredible.
It's
very
usually
blessed.
the ones that were raised in small towns that have the biggest impacts. It's a lot of people that were raised in greater metro areas.
Sure.
But I won't say they have an advantage to that because they have more resources.
Yeah.
But the ones who are in smaller towns, they have a lot more to prove.
Sure.
So they go the hardest.
Yeah, I that's a good point. But I think it has a lot to do with not being able to appreciate what you have all the time, right? So it's just like when people who are not from the U.S. come to the U.S., they're able to get ahead a lot quicker.
Right.
Because they come from situations where resources are scarce, right? And so when they come here and there's a plethora of information and data and resources, they're able to tap into those resources and take full advantage of them and get past a lot of people that have always been exposed to these resources. So I think it's very similar that way.
Yeah. I mean, great point. And thinking about in another scenario, people who aren't exposed to like big city lifestyle,
right? They
tend to acknowledge more, like appreciate more when they go to these big cities. Like someone from New York may come to Atlanta and be like, I'm in Atlanta. Someone from Mount Dora may come to Atlanta and be starstruck when they see somebody famous or even architecture. It's just a totally different type of upbringing that helps you appreciate more when you grew up with less.
True.
All right, so this episode, we'll do something a little different. I'm going to start encouraging my guests to come with questions for me.
Okay.
Right? Not just me firing away with you. So
sure.
If you got any questions that you may have or
I got some questions.
Someone may have pushed to you to ask me, fire away.
Cool. So first of all, I want to know why we couldn't do that deal in New Orleans. That's okay. Yeah, that's what I want to know because we had, let me tell you. So first of all, like, I'm trying to get out of the car business, right? I've been selling cars for over a decade, and I'm like, man, I want to get into real estate, but this money with it's golden handcuffs. It's very difficult to get out of the car business, right? Because you make just enough to where you don't want to quit, and they pay you just enough, right, to where it keeps you in this like prison, right? Dealership, slave ship, it's the same shit, right?
Right.
So real estate is this like natural progression I want a monkey bar to. So my most available resource, most immediate resource is Kelly and We Build Builders, which I had a hand in, right? So I'm thinking like, let me just circle back around to this.
Yeah.
But then an opportunity presented itself outside of that.
Right.
In Louisiana,
Okay.
right? I'm like, man, real estate is cheap in New Orleans,
Right.
Like everything is getting higher in Atlanta. Back home in Florida, everything is super high. You can't get into the market, so I'm like, okay, here's an opportunity, right? I have an opportunity to get in and do a new build.
Yeah.
So then I reach out to you. I mean, I text you. I could show you the text. I text you and I'm like, yo. I may have a project in New Orleans. I already have the surveys. And I'm thinking, okay, Kelly is going to give me the next step. Okay, you need to go get an architect. You need to go do this. Circle back around to me when you have your ducks in a row. No, you shut that shit down like straight away. Like, nah, I'm not interested in that. Not interested.
I'm not.
Bro.
You don't understand. See,
I don't
let me
understand
help
how
you.
we just turned down a whole bag.
I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why
I just need one really good one.
Now I'm gonna give you 3
All
great
right.
ones.
Okay,
why I
good.
shot
All
it
right.
down.
Okay.
1, I
Okay.
live here.
Okay, so what?
That's the main reason.
The internet has equalized the market. Go ahead.
No way.
Okay.
The internet has made the market more, recognizable.
Okay, so that's reason
I
one.
mean, you can understand what's going on over there.
Okay.
But in real estate investing, what I do, development and building,
Sure.
I don't know nobody in New Orleans doing
But
that.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
You know people over there with money.
Okay.
You don't know no subcontractors over there.
But that's
I'm
what
not going to New Orleans. You asked me, right?
I did,
I'm
actually.
not going to New Orleans to assemble a team and fly over $100 million that we can make here in Georgia to go make 200,000.
But why can't we make money in both cities? I don't understand.
You can make money in both cities
Then why don't we?
when you have the team.
Let's
it's not.
assemble a
It's
team.
not. It's not a we as in you and I.
Okay.
To do what we need to do, that what you want to do, what
Okay.
we're currently doing here in Georgia.
Do you know
Tennessee,
Super
and
Bowl's going to
Florida.
be there next year? Okay.
So I don't care what Super Bowl is. That's a weekend.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
I like to put. Do you know the World Cup gonna be here in a year and a half?
I know that.
And that's equivalent to 100 Super Bowls.
I don't know about 100.
100 Super Bowls.
100 Super Bowls.
Economy-wise, 100 Super Bowls. It's
Talk
not a
to me.
weekend event.
Talk to me.
Okay.
Okay.
So leading up to the
I'm not
World
saying
Cup,
we stop doing it in
Nah,
Atlanta.
leading up to the World Cup, I want to focus on this market we're in.
Okay.
We're at a venue right now. We're at our office right now, which
Okay.
is a quarter mile from where the World Cup is taking place outside of these other stadiums.
True.
The real estate on this street alone will grow faster than anything in New Orleans, regardless of what Super Bowl. They can do Super Bowl there for the next 10 years every weekend.
I'm
They
just
still
saying,
won't make the money that Atlanta's going to make for a World Cup.
our office is here, but we can still make money in other cities. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Oh, I'm definitely working
So
in
let's
other
go.
cities, but I'm not going to New Orleans.
All right.
Did you not see what happened when the levees broke?
Yeah, I saw that. I
Okay,
think everybody
so-
in the world saw that. That's
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I saw
Mostly
it, yeah.
everybody in the world. So
Yeah, we all saw
I'm
it.
not building in New Orleans when they still haven't rebuilt from Katrina.
Hmm.
I'm not going over there to invest in that space when I know it's sub sea level, like it's below sea level.
So if I understand-
So if I go over there and have to build on sand,
Sure.
when I can build on granite or
Okay.
stone or hard clay here and bedrock.
Sure.
Over there, everything is, too sandy. That's
Right.
why they can't build too many structures without a pier system. And if I have to drill down 16 feet just to install piers,
Sure.
I don't know how to budget for that because I'm used to building in North Georgia, Central Georgia, South Florida,
Okay.
Central Florida, Tennessee.
Understood.
So it's just multiple reasons why I don't think I would like to go to New Orleans and build in New Orleans right now.
Understood. Listen, so if I understand you correctly, it's not a safe bet.
Real estate ain't a safe bet anywhere.
So say more about that. Why is
The
it?
reason that real estate isn't a safe bet
Okay.
is because we can't determine the market. But it is the safest bet when it comes to investing.
Okay. Compared
It's
to
the
what?
safe stocks, crypto,
Which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's safest. I'll tell you why. Because if I tell you my money has an address,
Yeah.
I mean it. I don't need a PIN number. Give me a P.O. box. Give me a street address.
Right.
Because I can ride by my $500,000.
Yeah.
You put your $500,000 in crypto, you don't know where it's at.
It's funny you should say that. That's a good point. That's the reason why banks are more lenient with giving loans for homes than they are for cars.
Yeah.
Right? Because once the loan is approved for the car, that car can be anywhere.
Right.
But
And the
once-
value is instantly decreasing as far as real estate.
Right, but what I'm saying is that the house, you know where the house is. There's an address, there's a post office box. You can go to the house. You know, if you need to, if the lender needs to find you, there's only one place to find you, right? But once the loan is approved for the car, you could be anywhere.
Right.
You know.
And I always tell people this, like it's easier to get an asset-based loan as far as a hard money loan than it is to buy a car. And for those exact reasons.
So
Because they lend on an asset. A car is a liability. Real estate
Right.
is an asset.
So how does somebody such as myself, who has dabbled in real estate, found success early in real estate? I mean, I got lucky because I got around people who, one, knew what they were doing, or actually two knew what they were doing, and one cared about me enough to give me the game, right? So there's a lot of people I think get into real estate and they don't get around the right people, right? And so the results that they get is the same as if they got into the business and didn't have a team at all, right? So someone like myself who's assembling my own team, where do I need to really be starting, right? How do I strike out on my own? What does the money look like? What does my credit need to be? How do I get going and get to your level, right, to where I can just do real estate? I don't have to go clock in. I don't have to, I can actually take those golden handcuffs off, right, and just focus on, selling dreamy ass houses. How does that happen?
Well, first, education is key.
Okay.
And it's not just educating yourself on the building process.
Sure.
It's educating yourself on what you want to do with this real estate in the next 5 years.
Okay.
Because when you go work for someone and build their dream, you don't care where you are in the
Sure.
next 5 years because you're focused on getting this month check. But when you understand real estate and the long-term game, the long game, you have to make these plans because with real estate, the deal is made when you buy the property, not when you sell it. So understanding that you buy right.
You got to get in the house right.
You got to get in it right.
Okay.
Because if you pay too much up front, then it's going to be an uphill battle.
Sure.
Whether it's land or real estate.
Then you're just trying to retail out of it.
Just trying to get what you got in out. So that's real estate in a nutshell. You have to buy right from the beginning. You have to
Right.
understand. When I say getting your education, you have to
Sure.
understand what you're buying, the value of it, and any way that you need to get out of it. You make sure you're in the black. You're not in the red.
Got you.
So I could always go buy real estate for whatever they're selling it.
Sure.
But what good does it make if it looks like a good deal on paper?
Right.
But I run my numbers and I look at what's going on in that market.
Sure.
And I'm basing my decisions on past deals in this
Yeah.
market. I'll be able to make a better decision how much to pay, whether to pay it or not.
So it seems like what you're saying is, if I understand you correctly, it's not, a lot of people get into real estate and it's not the deal they actually get, it's the deal they think they got, right?
Yeah.
And
So when you don't really understand what you're buying
Right.
and where you're buying,
okay,
you may tend to think you're getting a deal.
right,
Because a $100,000 house in Tallahassee
sure.
is not a $100,000 house in Atlanta.
No, not at all.
So, but it's still $100,000.
Sure,
But
same
my
money.
$100,000 house in Atlanta
Yeah.
may be worth $150 in 5 years.
Yeah.
Where in Tallahassee it may be worth $105,
Right.
$110. So it all just depends on understanding where you want to build,
Sure.
or where you want to renovate or buy real estate, and make sure that you understand the long-term game,
Yeah.
because that's more important than the short term. You can get rich, buying and flipping houses or building and selling houses,
Yeah.
but you get wealthy by holding them.
Okay,
So for every couple houses that you build or renovate, you should be buying one that you want to keep
Gotcha.
to grow your wealth.
So if I understand what you're saying, so if I buy a house and I flip the house, right, then I get wealthy, or I get rich rather, right? I can get rich flipping houses.
Right.
But if I hold the house, then my children, they get wealthy.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really, it's actually deep, especially for Black and brown people, because we're breaking generational curses when we decide to hold on to homes and versus just flipping them. I think flipping is one mechanism, right? We should be doing that, but this other thing we should be doing is holding on to homes also, right? So we should be flipping, right, and making some passive income, but we should also be deep enough into the game to where we actually have enough inventory to where we're holding a house or two houses, and always have that leverage also, right? Where we're keeping houses held, so we can pass those houses down. Those houses continue to grow in value, and then we can pass those homes down to our children.
Exactly.
I'm gonna knock the out of them at the end. I swear to God, because we're really missing a bag in New Orleans. That's a fact. We just really are, Kelly. We really.
Man, let me answer this.
Yeah, bro. Look, listen, if Gene, I swear to God, if Gene said, bro, listen, man, we need to start looking at New Orleans, Kelly would be like, you know what, you're right. Matter of fact, Craig got an opportunity out there. Oh, man, call Craig right now, man.
Personal thing, Kelly, you think?
I can't be right in real estate. That's what it is. It's like, this is his thing. So I can't be right.
What is the real estate market like in New Orleans?
It does. That's what it is. Like, now, if it was something, if it was copy, if it was anything in creative direction, I could make up I go, and he'd be like, yeah, that's dope. That's actually, we should do that. But if it's real estate, he forgets that I've seen him through this entire journey.
This is all staying in, by the way. I'm absolutely keeping this on.
Okay.
Yeah, it should, because this is the real truth. Kelly is an asshole. He wants you to win in real estate, but he wants you to win under his tutelage. You can't possibly know anything.
Hey, check this out.
I can see that.
You couldn't possibly have anything to contribute to winning in real estate unless it's some data that was extracted from some sort of, you know.
It does me like that when it comes to production, so I definitely understand.
Man, I don't give a
Bro, let me tell you
none
something.
of that. And you, my guy, you done talked long enough.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I don't want to do the
Oh,
deal
and
in
it's
New
Gene
Orleans-
is from Mount Dora. And this is what y'all don't know. This is what is, see, Gene is from Mount Dora. I'm from Leesburg. Okay? My
daughter in Leesburg.
Yeah, so we're that don't matter. Listen, no, she ain't from Leesburg. The baby mama is from Leesburg.
Y'all girls over there.
Yeah, listen. Look, Leesburg and Mount Dora are rivals. That's what it really is. This goes all the way
Man,
back to that. They can't stand to see somebody from Leesburg win. They don't want to. They don't want to see us win.
See where
They
you
don't want us to
start.
be great.
This will never make it to the internet.
Yes, it is. It has to.
No, the won't.
Bro, look, they don't want us to be great. Let me tell you something. That's how Mount Dora and Eustis guys are, man. They don't want to see us win, man. Come on, man. We always had the best athletes. We had the finest girls. Yeah, bro, come on. Stop playing, man.
The best athlete y'all got from Leesburg, he in the league right now. Is a boy.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He locked himself out?
He's just not.
This is small town rivalry. It goes all the way back to, you know. And the crazy part is we're all born at Houston.
No, I was born in Orlando Regional.
No, you was born at Waterman. You're a Waterman baby.
RMC, Orlando Regional Medical Center.
That's probably your problem, bro. You're not a true.
I was born in Orlando.
You're not a thoroughbred, man.
So that was a great point that you said about
Which one?
building and holding for your
Yes,
kids and
yes.
building wealth.
Yes.
But honestly, real estate is a great bet. Like regardless if you flipping, selling, holding,
Okay.
renting, whatever. Like over time and history has been able to show us.
Yeah.
that real estate is always going to do this. It may plateau for a year or two based
There's
on
some
rates.
dips too. There's some dips.
Not a dip.
No dips.
No dips.
All peaks, no
Flat
valleys.
lines.
Peaks, no valleys.
Nah, plateaus.
Plateaus.
Plateaus, no valleys.
Okay. Plateaus, no valleys.
What, exactly.
That's a
Plateaus,
whole-
no valleys.
That's a merch line right there. Plateaus, no valleys.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Stop playing with me.
Hilltops and plateaus.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that real estate always does this.
Sure.
What our parents paid for houses, 20, 25,000,
Yeah.
1,000, 100,000. We will never be able to do that.
Just to speak in the language that is relevant right now, where is the bag, right? Like, where is this elusive bag that nobody, this unicorn of a bag that nobody seems to be able to actually capture, right? As it relates to real estate, you know?
And I think
Is it, but let me frame the question up. Is it multifamily? Is it single family homes? Is it apartment complex? Is it like a loft style condo in the middle of, you know, downtown Atlanta like this? Like where is this elusive bag
understanding
at?
real estate, this
Okay.
elusive bag
Okay.
is no longer elusive.
Ooh,
I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Okay.
Wall Street has jumped into the chat.
okay,
Wall Street and the hedge funds bought up over 40% of all the houses that were on sale in America last year.
okay,
They're one of the main reasons there's a 5 or 6 million home shortage in America,
okay,
because they buy these houses
Sure.
and they force people to rent. They're not buying them and selling them.
Right,
They're
right.
buying them and holding them, which
Okay.
is making America, forcing America to be a nation of renters. Like hedge funds have teamed up with D.R. Horton and some of the other largest
Okay.
builders in America.
Sure.
They're building complete neighborhoods specifically just to rent.
How do we then get into with such juggernauts, right?
We teach people how to build houses
Okay.
themselves. And that is our minuscule combat.
Right.
Because the
That's
more
your
we-
contribution to
That's
the-
my contribution to what's going on in America.
Okay.
Because if we can educate others how important it is to own real estate, then they'll be more inclined to, when they acquire a property, they'll be more inclined to understand it, to understand the equity play if they need to renovate it or do anything like that, and continue to hold it. They don't necessarily need to just sell it. If you inherit a house here, your grandma passed away, and you inherit that house, don't necessarily go out and sell it. Weigh your
Okay.
options. Get
Okay.
educated. I could take a HELOC out on this house and renovate it, or a 2 or 3K loan if it's
Sure.
I'm gonna use it as my first home buyer or whatever, and renovate this house, increase the value, increase the equity, rent it out, but still own it. I don't necessarily have to sell it.
Okay. So I know that we're running out of time, but before we get out of here, I just had to give me 3 to 5 things that when I leave here, or if somebody's watching, right? What can I do today to get started? Like, what are the nuts and bolts? Do I go online? If I'm in Florida, do I go to Sunbiz, get me an LLC? Do I start that way? Do I team up in a meetup? Like, what is that? How do
One
I
of the first
move?
things
How
you
do I
can
get
do-
up from this seat and immediately get engaged and activated in real estate? And maybe a month from now or 2 months from now, or what does that time frame look like to where I can actually start making some money?
It all depends on what you want to do. But I'm gonna give you these steps that anybody can do. One, continue to search on social media and YouTube and stuff.
Okay.
Whose phone is that? You can get on social media
Okay.
and join these networking groups.
Name one.
Atlanta Real Estate Networks.
Okay, cool.
Whatever market you're in, just look on Facebook.
Okay.
Look at these meetups.
Right.
Go to these networking groups.
All right.
Present yourself. Bro, what?
No, but it was funny, and not to interrupt you in answering that, but this is kind of church, right? I mean, right now you're giving a message, and somebody's in the pulpit of YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Listening to this pastor of real estate, and they think that they're talking directly to them, and you are.
What the fuck kind of phone that is, man? You got a CB. That's a
It's a CB.
Brickle 19. Roger.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think that there is something to be said that there's somebody out there watching right now, and they want to know what the easiest
some
entry
action
point
steps.
is. Yeah. What are the
I wanna
action
be
steps?
able
The
to-
easiest
to-
entry
to-
point.
To log off this video and go.
Yeah, and actually get to it.
Depending on what type of phone you got, if you got an Android or iPhone, you can go to the App Store. They have several.
Now I gotta change.
Bro, we
what kind of
record.
phone he?
Bored right now, bro. Get your
And he's
get your
eating
ass
candy.
down, mother- Goddamn
He
Jamaican.
actually went and got some candy.
Man.
Bro, you was trying to tell me like what the easiest
Oh,
way
yeah,
to get into
yeah.
real estate. I just want to get into real estate, bro. Like,
Right.
how do I do it? How do I, the viewer of this piece of content, amongst the gazillion other pieces of content, what makes this last few seconds or moments in this piece of content valuable to me? How do I take it, and how do I go and get activated and actually get into real estate?
All right. One, to do that, you got to have the right mindset.
Okay.
And by watching this video,
Sure.
that shows that you have the right mindset. You
Perfect.
wanna
Okay, I
get
love
into
that.
So that's
Okay,
one of the
that's
steps.
positive. Okay.
Right? Educate yourself.
Word.
Watch more videos like this.
Okay.
Network.
Not just yours, but everybody's.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Don't watch everybody.
Do we have some ops?
Don't watch everybody videos.
Okay, all right.
If they
Okay.
post-
Let me find out we got some real estate ops.
They post all their stuff,
Okay,
and none of the people's stuff that they claim to help.
sure.
Don't watch their videos.
Okay, understood.
Don't believe.
Okay.
Them. They just don't believe them prop houses.
Prop houses.
Yeah, prop
We're gonna have to do an episode where we're calling people out. Like,
I don't really want to do that right
No?
now. Nah. Let me get
Like,
wealthy.
further- yeah, let's get rolling first. Let's get rolling
Let
first.
me get a TV show. First.
Okay, all right.
All right. But so yeah, the education,
Okay.
and network.
All right.
Start surrounding yourself with people that are doing what you want to do. Whether it's on social media, with Facebook groups,
Right.
actual networking events in your area.
Right.
Download these free apps.
Sure.
There are several free apps. If you aren't a real estate agent,
Sure.
they have several free apps that help you, study for the real estate exam. Although you may not be in a class, you can still study and take these false exams.
Right.
But at the same time, you're really getting educated on laws and terminology.
Right.
So you can definitely do that. And 5, just get to it.
Just get to it.
Just get to it. Everything I just mentioned, just get to it.
Okay.
Because all this, what I just mentioned, if you don't take action,
Yeah. It's nothing.
it's nothing. It's like having a head full of information. It's like people that go to all these retreats and
Seminars.
and get home and
Sure.
plan to go to the next one.
Yeah, they're motivated while they're there.
And just
They
keep
get home.
spending all this money going to these
Sure. They
events,
become
but not actually
professional
using the
attendees.
information.
Professional
attendees.
Professional attendees.
Yeah.
Right.
So don't be one of those. Like,
Okay.
put this information to use.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's all I got for you, man. As always, I learn something personally. I learn something every time I sit down with you. You have a wealth of information. I really appreciate you, bro. So just
Appreciate
keep
you.
doing your thing.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep building these houses, bro.
All right. And thank y'all for watching. I'm Kelly Parker, aka KP the Builder. This was another episode of Coffee with KP with our guest Craig Allen Giddens.
Craig Giddens. You can find me on social media, really anywhere online. That's CraigGiddens. And I look forward to catching up with any or all of you.
That's right. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Before that, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.